Afternoon, everybody. Just get right to it. Bit of a sweep up. Hello. Right, I'm just going to get right into it. No waffle, no talking and no nonsense. Right, so a lot of you will have seen one of the last videos I did with the bedside tables, and I had some scraps, and I did ask what I should do with these wedges I had left over. So in this video, I've got 3 scrapwood projects what I'm doing, and at the end you'll see all 3 projects. I love them. There's things I would change differently on probably on each of the projects if I was going to make them to sell them. But I'm just giving you an idea of what I've made. That's the video you can watch if you go and watch that video of the bedsides, and these are the offcuts. So what I'm doing here, I'm pushing the glue into the end grain. It's not ideal to be gluing end grain, but I bang loads of glue on there, and I sort of like push it in, really push it in with my finger, get plenty on, and then I leave it because I can't find a way to clamp it together, and I know it's not going to be super strong. I just put loads of glue. A little tip I heard is push the glue into the end grain. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I've seen it being done, and I believe it works. It's not ever going to be a super strong joint, but what this project actually is, it won't need to be super strong. It's more decorative than sort of functional, if that makes sense to you. So the glue I'm using is Titebond 2. I've just put like a bit of brown paper down there just to sort of like glue getting everywhere. And then me sort of rag there for my fingers. But there's something satisfying about using glue and fingers. It's really, really satisfying. So I'm just showing you the sort of like what I've done there with it. Now, I'm trying to put it here together as best as I can. And that glue's making everything super slippy anyway. And I'm just trying to offset each piece to give me a sort of like a fan design. It'll all become clear how decorative this actually is at the end of the video. So keep watching. So I'm just putting a bit of pressure on there. Now, in hindsight, what I should have done here is probably brad nailed that together as well a bit. So every sort of couple of days, I always check the squareness of my tools, everything. So everything gets checked. So this is the next day now. I let that dry up overnight. And I was surprised how strong it was, but I'm just going to go in really carefully with a cut. Just real nice and easy with that. And it was okay. It was okay. So that's that. And then bits I couldn't get it, so I couldn't line it up on the sort of miter saw. Just trim it back with the Japanese pull saw. All that there you see is sort of like excess glue, paper stuck to it. Or I use that much glue. So there's 2 there sort of together. So I'm always looking at getting my scrap pile down. Now, when you go to do a project, it's easy to buy wood to do a specific project. How I like testing myself with this is I've got to make projects with the wood I've got, like scrap. So it's psychologically it's a little bit different, and it tests you, and I think it makes you a better sort of woodworker. I think it sort of, you can raise your game and you learn things. Like with this project, I've learned a few things, and with these 3 projects I've made here, next time I go to make them, I will make them differently. So there's some more offcuts from that bedside tables build. They were the part of the legs on the insides that I cut out. So I'm just going to cut these straight down the middle. You need to get them really centralised here. And then that's that one. My fingers are well away there, but what I have to do next is I have to go over a bit with a cut, about another 1.5 centimetres or something like that. Can't remember what it was. And it just makes it a bit too dangerous. So I have to sort of like make 3 staggered cuts there. And here I'm thinking, no, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not going to risk it. If you're in doubt, don't do it. Find another way. So I found another way here, which was using the bench hook, the Japanese saw. It's a scrapwood project. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'd rather use this as like a prototype thing and see how it goes. Work out all where I go wrong, what looks right, what looks wrong. So this is that sort of project. But in the end, I tell you what, I absolutely love them, what I end up making here. And here's Shelley having a go with the Japanese saw. She wants to do a woodworking project. So what she's trying to do is learn little bits about hand tools and bits and pieces. You all know how good she is with the stain and the sort of like colorization of the projects and stuff like that. But she wants to have a go at something. So I just need to make sure I sort of like, not train her, that's the wrong word, but show her and sort of encourage her how to use the tools sort of correctly and safely, and then she'll make a project, and we'll make a video of that and put it on for you. I know there's a lot of ladies out there who would like to see sort of more women doing projects and stuff like that. And, you know, it's good, you know, more people that get into woodworking, the better. Men, women, it doesn't really matter, does it? Everybody can enjoy what we do. And just take it easy here with the table saw. I do love my push stick that I made. You know what? I thought they were on the website, but they're not. I'll pop some on the website for sale, them push sticks. So don't be fooled by what I've got there. I mean, that's just for measuring purposes. And like I say, there's 3 projects here in the end. And it's all out of scrap wood. So that scrap pile's going down. It's benefited me because I've made 3 projects. I can work out all the pitfalls and how to do them properly from the prototypes that I'm making here. To eventually, when I want to sell them, I know I can send them out in confidence, knowing that I've sort of like tested how they should be made and what the right way to do them and the wrong way to do them. And I'm making loads of mistakes here, and we're all going to make mistakes. And you can make the biggest, best thing in the world, and you're going to make mistakes with it. And being sort of like an hobby woodworker, I'm making mistakes all the time. But it's got to be done, and this is it. And it's problem solving all the time. So what I'm doing here is I'm just marking up the side bit there, and then I'm just chopping up more wood here. So it's more scrap wood. What was this project? I can't remember what this project was off. I think it was off something I made with legs, and the legs went wrong or something like that. I tried to make a taper. I still need to make a tapering jig. Now, I've been looking at making my own tapering jig, but I'm quite liking the look of that. It's like a dovetail sort of jig. Is it micro jig match fit? I don't know whether to invest in one of them and get the dovetail bits and make one. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me do that. So this is a bit overkill here, what I'm doing. This is total overkill, but I just wanted to make sure when it's all together it's not coming apart. There's probably a million ways how to put this together, but this is the way I did it. It's scrap wood. It's not like it's waste wood. It would go on the fire. All right, the screws cost me a bit of money there, but you know, I've gone overboard with it. But so be it. It doesn't matter. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and if you're enjoying what you're doing, just do it. It doesn't matter, does it? It's all about the enjoyment, the hobby, the learning. And everything gets a sand. There's loads of little bits. I was surprised how many little bits there was. Just loads of them. So I'm just getting rid of all splinters and rough edges and stuff like that before Shelley goes over everything with stain. She likes to pre-stain everything. And then when I've made things and sanded them back a little bit to clean them up, she'll go over them again with stain. So they're getting, in that respect, they're getting like normally like 2-3 coats of stain. And it just bodes well for a better finish. So we decided 3 different stains on these projects, and Shelley just does what she does. I just build the thing. Shelley just stains them because apparently, according to Shelley, I've got no taste when it comes to sort of like colours and stuff like that. I'm not going to argue with her. You never argue with your other half. Well, we all know that, don't we? But anyway, she's just pushing that stain there right into them sort of end-grain sections. And there he is, just looking out there. He's being nosy, making sure we're all safe and thing. Look at him. So as you can see, I'm just trying to put it all together, line it all up. What I've done with this, I've given it a bit more of a sand back when I originally sanded it, because I just wanted to create sort of like some rough edges onto the front of these little sections that I did. Just a bit of glue. Didn't really need to glue this, to be honest, but I'm doing it. I'm just thinking I'll glue it. That's how, if I'm going to make them to sell them, that's how I'm going to do them. And I'm just going to simply brad nail these here. You think I would have gone to the trouble of screwing them tops down with all the screws I put in the sort of like two side sections, wouldn't you? But this is what was in my head at the time, and this is what I went with. So yeah, let me all know where you're all from. I always ask that every video. Any projects you want to see me doing, let me know. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join our memberships, and you know, there's buy me a coffee, there's links down there. And what I will do is I will put all the products I'm using here, I'll put sort of affiliate links into the description, with links where you can support the channel financially if you wish to do so. But more than anything, I'd be happy with people subscribing and commenting, and you know, being part of this little community I'm building here. There's some great people already, and the support I'm getting is absolutely out of this world, and it's more than I hoped for when I started the YouTube channel, if I'm perfectly honest. Everybody's been great, and there's too many people to shout out. If I could, I would, you know, and at some point I will do things like that. But you know, thank you very, very much, all of you, for your support. It is really appreciated. Makes it worthwhile for me to show you these videos. I would be doing these videos without YouTube, but with your support and what I try and stuff like that, it makes it even more enjoyable, and I know people are getting stuff out of it, so that's good. So I'm just going in here, I'm screwing these together, making these sort of like bomb-proof, basically. You know, these are so solid, they're never going to get broke. The wood will break first before the structure breaks on it. I don't want to give too much away at this point. I want you just to see the end result, because I think they come out stunning. If you had any ideas yet what I'm making, I think things are starting to get sort of self-explanatory now as I'm going on. As you can see there, Shelley's design on this one with the stain was like a two-tone design, like a dark wood, then like a black stain round the rims of everything on this. And I think it was quite cool. She surprised me with doing that. I didn't think she'd have done that, but she did, and you know, it looks really cool, to be honest. I love it. So here's where you can see where I had to step down them cuts on the miter saw, and I couldn't just take the risk on that second cut. If you think back on the video, and that was that cut there, there was just no way. So Japanese miter saw, and it doesn't matter if it's out a little bit or whatever, you can't really notice it. People are not going to be looking for that anyway. And yeah, it just looks good. Well, it does in the end. So I'm just going in here, I'm just putting pilot hole in, then I'll flip it over and just do a countersink, just so I know where the screw holes are, basically. And then I've got a tendency here, I start putting the glue on the wrong side. You'll see me in a minute where I'm putting the glue on the wrong side, and then I'm having to wipe it off. I don't know if it was a bit of brain freeze I was having, or whatever I was doing, or I was just confusing myself. So there's that. And here we go. No, I don't know what it is. You know, sometimes when you're doing something, you just get like, I don't know what goes on in your brain, and like you think, why have I done that? And you can't really understand. So I'm just butt jointing that little base together there, what I could have done, and if I was doing these sort of to make them to sell them, I probably mitre that. Next ones I make, I'll do a little sort of mitre joint there. I should have really done a mitre joint, and this is one of the things that when I'm thinking there, I could have done this differently. And this is the joy of woodworking. You can see things, and no doubt, if I make these again, they'll be better than this time I make them. This is the first time I've made these. And I think they come out sort of really, really well. If you can hear rumbling in the background, it's just, there's a big storm just started happening here in Derbyshire, and the rain's bouncing off the ceiling. So I don't know if the microphone's picking that up, but apologies if you can hear it. I've got a new microphone, so let me know how the audio is as well. Wow, you can hear that bouncing. So here's where I'm going in with the glue here, and I sort of like, look, just figured out, like, I've just put the glue on the wrong side and wiped it off. And then just in. So now I'm just going to go over it with my little mouse craft sand plane with a bit of sandpaper, just to get sort of some of the rough edges off and bits and pieces. I just glue and plug the back section here just to tidy it up. I like putting plugs in. I think it gives it just that little finishing touch on things. I think when people look at it and they, you know, they're wanting handmade, and that just adds all to that handmade vibe, don't it? And people love that. And here's Shelley now. She's just going to go over and touch everything up. She is a perfectionist on it. She drives me mad with it, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I think I go on sometimes and don't like leaving stuff and keep carrying on and carrying on and carrying on. She's the same with stain, but she won't admit it. She'll go over it, and then she'll go over everything with the decorator's varnish, like clear coat a couple of the items here. So these little risers, what I've made, she'll just go over with that with a couple of coats of that, let it dry in between coats. And I've made two there, but one, you know, I've got two sister-in-laws, and they're each getting one of them. So on this one here, I'm just using clear lacquer, what you use on overspray for cars, you know, lacquer, car lacquer, whatever it is. I've used it before and it seems to work well. So here's the two risers dressed up. You could have these in multiple uses. That's got some succulent plants on, there's some spices there, little spice rack. It could be what you want on there. You could use that for, you know, just loads of tons of uses for them, isn't there? But just look how nice that was, scrap wood, and I've something nice. And here's two bookends, Art Deco style. I love Art Deco, and they were just scrap wood destined to be burnt. And just look at them, they're so elegant. I'd make them differently. Oh, the little bookmarks, by the way, there. My youngest daughter has got a business. She makes bookmarks and stuff like that. So I'll stick a link to her Etsy store into the description. She makes them. She's fantastic. She sells loads of them. People love them. She's proper bookworm. And here's the other one, another pair of Art Deco inspired bookends using scrap wood with like little letter rack type things on the side. But let me know what you think in the comments, and please have a go at doing these. Use your scrap wood up. Just look at these. They're just really nice. So let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and support the channel. You're all absolutely amazing, and long may it continue, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.